Welcome to the Emancipation Celebration interview series in which we feature some of Dominica's cultural stalwarts. On this program, we feature Vanessa Winston, who is the president of the Dominica Arts and Crafts Producers Association, or DACPA. Vanessa, tell us how you got involved in arts and crafts in Dominica.
Well, I think from a small age I've always been inspired by nature. Raising up in Portsmouth, the small village of Lago, I've always, like, from school, I went to Princess Show and always been involved in cultural activities, being, so with that, it brings a certain appreciation of creation, of creating things. I went on to high school, and although one of the major things for me was athletics, but in the background there was always that inspiration to go to the beach, collect shells, collect stones, and try to create things with it and take apart beads. And so I think it's from young that spirit is there within me. And although science was my main subjects at school and wanting to be a scientist, but then I still end up in craft, involving in creating, in producing. So that have been a long time within me, and it is amazing to see that I've come this far and still using the inspiration and the creativity to take me along.
So what would you consider to be your specialties in the area of arts and crafts?
Well, I started, when I started my career itself, apart from just my hobbies in arts and craft, I started learning leather crafting just as a hobby, and I moved on to making belts and doing shoes. But then I look around and I say, a lot of people focus on the shoes and the belts. Let me get into the accessories. So therefore, I went more or less into the accessories, creating jewelry pieces. And although the belt is one of my main products, but my jewelry pieces is really inspiring.
And you went on to become president of the Dominica Arts and Crafts Producers Association. During your time as president, what would you consider to be one or two of the main achievements of the association?
Well, during my reign as president, I find that being able to put together a website, we did our website. It was funded by the OECS, but then that was probably one of the first major projects as the president of the association, and we went around the island and meet our members in their space, and we did interviews, and we had a real good documentary done on and placed on the website. So that was really inspiring, and right now we have a website with the information of the members, with data, and also we're hoping to get it to a point where it will be e-commerce friendly, that persons would actually be able to buy on the website. Also having to get involved in different activities and different expos in Martinique, Guadeloupe, St. Lucia, like for the Carib Expo in St. Lucia. We also went to St. Kitts. So we've been, through my presidency, we've been a few places, and we still hope to go more places.
So do you find that Dominica's products are appreciated when you travel overseas to represent Dominica?
Oh yes, the product is really appreciated, and it is very warming to meet people and to see that persons can actually be so excited about our products, though they have their own culture, but being exposed to our culture, being exposed to what we create. We almost like ambassadors when we go out there, because we share with persons and they are very inspired, to see that we, small island Dominica, can go out there and actually inspire others that probably might have more resources or more avenues to create than us. It's overwhelming.
Dominica, like other countries in the world, has been challenged by this ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. What, in your assessment, has been the impact on the arts and crafts industry in Dominica?
Well, To be honest, the COVID really put a halt on a lot of things because during the time that the pandemic came around was one of the active times for the association, because normally what we do, we plan like whenever close to the end of the tourist season, there's a lot of activities in Guadeloupe, in Martinique that we take part in. And probably a few weeks before the COVID, we had gone to Guadeloupe to arrange to be part of a real big expo. So really, we've lost a lot, and it have put a halt. Persons are not making any income right now. So it's kind of really difficult for them. But at the same time, we try in our best to inspire persons, to keep people inspired throughout the time, trying to encourage them to look at the bigger picture and hope for the future and not give up. And one of the other things that we're really trying to do is get our persons a little bit more tech savvy, because normally you find with creatives and producers, they more or less focus so much on their production. And we have a lot of persons that are not really that tech savvy. So right now we have to really try to get them up to date with being a little bit more tech savvy and getting the proper equipment so that they can in fact get their products online and see if they can create an exposure out there and get sales from the outer world. So that's where we're trying to get to right now, and it's been hard. It's been difficult, I can tell you. As for myself as well, it has been difficult.
Yeah. So as president of DACPA, what words of encouragement as we go forward and as we are emerging out of this COVID-19, although it's still prevalent in the world, what words of encouragement would you want to give to the members of your association and to artisans and craftspersons across Dominica at this time?
Well, one thing I would like to encourage us to do is start really focusing on unity, on networking, on strength, because that is where we're going to have the strength. We have to, even with the COVID, that is one thing COVID shows us, is that we have to give each other strength, because in these times, we don't know what is coming tomorrow. We have no idea. We had Erika, we had Maria, now we have the COVID. So we don't know what is coming tomorrow. But knowing that you have the support of your fellow brothers and sisters, especially with the like interests, it is a benefit for you. And also, with the strength, what you do, somebody might not have been able to have a certain tool or certain material, but you have the excess. You know, we share. We have to look at ways to work together to get the bigger picture, because whilst one person might be fighting, like for instance, we say the best way forward is to go online. But if each of us have to fight to create a website, right? If we come together and we know we put our resources together and we fuel one website or one avenue that we can push forward, then it is better. And even not just for the members, but for Dominica on a whole, our creatives need to come together. Despite your discipline, we need to come together because we have a like interest and we are all suffering the same way.
And from a personal point of view, how do you see your future involvement in arts and crafts in Dominica?
Well, for me, it's almost like a lifestyle. So I cannot run from it. I cannot hide from it. It's almost like right now part of me, part of my home, part of my children, because they too have their own disciplines, that they have their strength in different areas, in creative areas. So my thing is to continue encouraging. And what I would really like to do is more our young people, get them to be inspired by what we have done and what others have done, so that we can then move forward, because it is an important industry and we really need to take it and move with it. It will actually help our culture so much. And the culture, people have to understand our culture is like not just a product, not just something that we make. Yes, we put our energies into that end product, and the end product represents what we're trying to show, but it is within us. It's an energy within us that we have connected with our island, that we have connected with nature. So really, I really want to try to my best to encourage myself to keep being inspired, because it's easy for you to get discouraged in this time. It's easy to get demotivated. I'm not saying I have been demotivated throughout the past time, and but then you have to find new ways to inspire yourself. You have to look at avenues to keep on inspiring yourself, especially if you love what you do.
Well, Vanessa, I would certainly want to wish you continued success with your work in arts and crafts in Dominica. And I want to thank you for joining us on this program, the Emancipation Celebration interview series.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Raymond. It's my pleasure working with the Cultural Division and to continue promoting arts and craft, not just arts and craft, but the entire creative, the entire cultural industry in Dominica. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. I am Raymond Lawrence on behalf of the Cultural Division.